Did you know that a kris needs to be appreciated not only visually but emotionally as well? Have you experienced a sudden overwhelming sensation at an emotional sensory level when observing and admiring a kris? In today's video, I will provide the definition of a Javanese term called Pasikutan in simple English. Keep watching to learn more. Okay, hi guys, and welcome to another video. May you be in good health and positive spirit always. Once again, you are with me, Keris Johari, better known as Pak Jofe, the Kris Collector from Singapore, and you are watching another educational video that will help you grow your collecting skills and develop a healthy collecting habit right here on the Kris Collector YouTube channel. I was planning on diving straight into defining the aspect of kris tangguh, as per request by a fellow channel viewer and collector. But after much deliberation, I think it would be best if I first explain the concept of Pasikutan, as this ties in closely with the art of kris tangguh. The art of menangguh kris is fundamentally the art of classifying a kris in accordance to its corresponding time period. I will elaborate more on this in the next video topic. First and foremost, I have to thank our brothers from the Javanese kris diaspora for their long heritage of documenting kris-related practices. Hands down, without their meticulous documentation and continued practice, it would be challenging to articulate and explain to non-native students and enthusiasts of the art of the kris. Now, do not get me wrong, I am not saying that the rest of the regions outside of the Javanese kris traditions does not have something similar by definition, but the Javanese system of explanation provides the basic framework for a more coherent discussion. Now, for today's video, specific references I gathered from the written work by the late Bapak Bambang Harsrenuksumo in his magnum opus titled Encyclopedia Kris. He is a renowned Indonesian figure amongst kris collectors who had spent a significant part of his life dedicated towards documenting Indonesian culture and heritage arts. He has published numerous books and periodicals in Bahasa Indonesia, and this may somewhat limit the appreciation of his work if you do not speak or read the language. So, to all my non-native viewers, fret not, I have decided to undertake this task of translating specific details in simple English. According to Javanese kris diaspora, Pasikutan is not defined by that of mere physical stylistic form and observations of visual attributes. It is a combination of appreciating visual aesthetics present on a kris blade or component design paired with the intuitive senses. In short, we are deducing an associated character, if you will, to the kris in relation to how we feel about it. Think of it as looking at a photograph. How do we gauge that a photograph has been taken well? We look at various aspects and attributes: the subject, the background, the foreground, the framing, the juxtapositioning, the rule of thirds, and so on and so forth. Next, we will look at the overall feel of how the photograph taken makes us feel. Does it invoke feelings of joy, dread, somber, mystery, strange, awkward, or even having a sense that the photograph feels off or appears to be lacking in something? Likewise, with the kris, the physical attributes, design forms, stylistic expression, and most important, the overall feel in the presence of the kris. Hey, if this video brings value to you and you like what you have watched so far, please have a care and remember to subscribe, like and share if you would. Your likes and support will help this video reach a wider audience, and you will be helping other kris enthusiasts out there to find their answers right here on this channel. Also, if you have any thoughts, questions, or even feedback, please feel free to leave me your comments and I will personally reply to you. Based on Javanese kris traditions, Pasikutan is categorized into 11 distinct descriptions. I will provide the description in native Javanese paired with its Malay and English translation from here on. Number 1. Pasikutan kaku. Now, there is also a similar word in Malay, so there is no better equivalent for it. This generally means the make, build and presentation design of the kris blade and fittings looks and feels off. Something about the design deviates from stylistic norms and does not appear to be in harmony. It appears to resist and go against the natural flow. Number 2. Pasikutan wingit or bingit in Malay. The entire presentation invokes a feeling of unease and dread to a certain degree. It gives rise to a feeling of annoyance. Number 3. Pasikutan prigil or cekap in Malay. The presentation invokes a feeling of meticulous care, yet agile and adaptable in nature. Number 4. Pasikutan sedeng or sedang in Malay. The presentation is neither too big nor too small, neither impressive or expressive, and feels quite ordinary. Number 5. Pasikutan demes or kemas in Malay. The presentation was well planned and executed. It is nice to look at. Great care was taken to produce it. Number 6. Pasikutan wagu or ragu in Malay. The presentation outright feels off balance and is not in harmony in its entirety and invokes a sense of doubt. Number 7. Pasikutan odol or hodoh in Malay. The presentation clearly is in poor taste and crudely made and invokes a sense of unrefined character. Number 8. Pasikutan kembar or hambar in Malay. The presentation is rather tasteless or neutral. The kris may still be well made, but somehow evokes a feeling of meh. It dulls the emotional state and nothing fancy to be excited about. Number 9. Pasikutan semu or jemu in Malay. The presentation is rather common, well made, yet boring for a lack of a better word. Number 10. Pasikutan sering or garang in Malay. The presentation is outwardly bold, strong and fierce. Last but not least, at number 11, Pasikutan bagus or ayu. There are similar words in Malay that bears the same meaning, so I will not translate it into something else. The presentation is by far the best and pleasing, not only to look at, to hold in the hand, to keep and collect, and it evokes a feeling of joy and tranquility. By traditional definition, Pasikutan or sikutan is a Javanese term to describe the assessment of not only the stylistic form of the kris presented, but more importantly, it assesses and ascribes to it the character of the kris by way of intuitive feel. Recapping from my earlier videos, a kris is a very personal item. It embodies and personifies the character of its current custodian. Hence, just like the person, the kris will have its own unique character feel that can be felt intuitively at an emotional level. Some may dispute this method of practice of assigning emotive senses to a kris, but it is what it is, and it has been practiced be it consciously or unconsciously over a period of time. Hence, we may accept it as part of a unique experience in our journey of kris collecting. If you are unsure of how to conclusively define a good kris in your hands, be sure to check out this video here for an overview of how experienced collectors make their assessment. Or you can jump right ahead to the next video on kris tangguh. I'll see you there. Bye bye.